Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Nitai, Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna. Well, today I'm going to read a certain portion, probably do it over the course of a few videos, the Rasa Panchadhyaya, which is the 5 chapters dealing with the Rasa Leela of Krishna in the 10th book of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, just with a little invocation, Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaye Stadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nigamakalpataror Galitam Phalam Shukamukadamrita Dravasanyutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. Ripe fruit from scripture's wish-fulfilling tree, distilled from Shuka's lips, eloquently, drink deep this Bhagavat, pure rapture's store, ye connoisseurs on earth forevermore. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All hail to Almighty Vasudeva. So, beginning text 1. Shri Badarayani Ruvacha Bhagavan apita ratri saradotfulla mallikaha Viksha rantum manaschakri yogamayam upasritaha. Sri Badarayani said, the Sharad lotus and sweet jessamine surcharged the atmosphere with scent divine, which seeing e'en the Lord desired to sport, and to his yoga power had resort. The reason it is even the Lord, because Bhagavan Api means that even he, the Lord, Rantum Manas Chakre, desired to sport. So now text 2, showing you the beauty of Vrindavan in the moonlight. Tadodurajaha kakubha karayir mukham Pracha vilampanarunena santamai Sacharshanina mudagat sucho mrajan Priya priyaya iva dirgadarshanaha. The monarch of the stars then rose to view, that's the moon, and daubs the blushing east with roseate hue. E'en as a lover parted and lovelorn his lady's face with kumkum would adorn, who absent from her lord for many a day the burning heat of passion would allay. Drishtva kumudvantamakhandamandalam Ramananabham navakunkumarunam Vanam cha tatkomalagobiranjitam Jagokalam vamadrishang manoharam. The balmy moonlight o'er Brindavan spreads, and silver light throughout the forest sheds. When Krishna saw the lily's friend arise, surveyed the charming prospect with his eyes, and was reminded of the pleasing grace of Goddess Rama's beautiful bright face, and then began to play sweet pleasing strains upon his flute, which captivates proud dames. Then Nishamya, that's when they heard that, having heard Nishamya Geetam Tadananga Vardhanam Vrajastriya Krishna Grihita Manasah Ajagmuranyonyamalaksitodhyamah sayatra kanto javalola kundalaha. The cowherd dames, when they that music heard, Cupid increased, and strong passion was stirred. Though Vraja's damsels were at home confined, the thought of Krishna seized upon their mind, and were distracted quite and without heed. Each unknown to each other they proceed, with swinging earrings which radiance lent, and to where Krishna waited they swiftly went. Duhyantyo bhiyayukastit dohanam hitva samutsukaha payodishritya samyavam anudvasya parayayuhu pariveshayantyas tad hitva payantya shishumpayah shushrushantyah patinkastit ashnantyo pashyabhojanam limpantya pramrajantyonya anjantyah kascha lochani vyajyasta vastrabharanah kastit krishnantikam yayuhu. Some of them were milking cows. Disquieted, abandoned the task, and away they sped. Some left milk boiling over in a pot, and others in the oven cakes forgot. While some were dressing, some their infants fed, some served their husbands, but away they fled. Some stopped eating the meal they had begun, forsaking all, towards Krishna they run. Some of them were applying fragrant scent, some smeared their eyes with kajala ointment, and with gems and garments in disarray to Krishna's presence all hastened away. Ta varyamanaha patibihi pitrivir bratri bandhubihi Govinda pahritatmano na nyavartanta mohitaha. Although by husbands and by fathers chid, brothers and relatives sought to forbid, in vain, since they could not be so confined, as Govinda had captivated their mind. You see, antargriha gataha kastit gopyo labdha vinirgamaha krishnam tadbhavana yukta dadyur milita lochanaha. Some cowherd dames could not gain egress, and you couldn't get out, from their inner chambers. Nevertheless, with eyes closed, deep contemplation maintained, and absorption in Krishna they attained. Long purport. Dur saha preshta viraha tivratapa duta subhaha dhyana praptya chutashlesha nirvritya kshina mangalaha tameva paramatmanam jara buddhyapi sangataha jahur gunamayam deham sadhya prakshina bandanaha. That's 10 and 11. The pang of separation, that's for those that were kept indoors meditating on Krishna, like hot fire, purged them of all inauspicious desire, conceiving in his embrace ecstasy, exhausted all their store of piety. Although he is the mighty, supreme Lord, they knew him as but their lover adored. They left their mortal bodies suddenly, and from the bonds of existence were free. Now the king Parikshit raises some inquiries. He is very startled and surprised to hear of such an event, although such a thing had been mentioned previously in regard to the wives of the sacrificial Brahmins. Shri Parikshit Uvacha Krishnam vidu param kantam natu brahmataya mune Guna pravaho paramastasam gunadhiyam katham. The king said, Krishna they knew as but their lover dear, and not as Brahman absolute, O seer. How was it they were from all bondage free, engrossed as they were in the gunas three? Then Sri Shuka said, Uvacha, Uktam purastare tatti chaityaha siddhim yathagataha dishan api hrishikesham tam uttadhoksaja priyaha. So, a little annoyed at the question, Sri Shuka said, Do you not remember what I had said? How Chaitya, e'en by hate, was perfected. What blessing then do you think they might gain who fondness for adhoksaja maintain? Now Shuka will say some important words. Nrinam nishreyasarthaya vyaktir bhagavato nripa avyayasya prameyasya nirgunasya gunatmanaha. Ineffable truth is beyond the reach of man's conception, intellect, or speech, yet incarnates himself, O noble king, and thereby to the world doth fortune bring. Kamam, krodham, bhayam, sneham, aikyam, sauhridamevacha, nityam haro vidhattato, yanti tanmayatang hite. Whether from love or fear, oneness or rage, in friendship or affection, they engage their minds in him, and thus preoccupied are automatically purified. Nachaivam vishmayaha karyo bhavata bhagavatya aje yogeshwareshware krishne yata etad vimutsyati. Be not surprised or overwonder much if the deeds of the birthless Lord be such, for Krishna is the Lord of mystic lords, who salvation to the world affords. Ta dristvantikam. Now back to the narrative. Ta dristvantikam ayata bhagavan brajayoshitaha avadad vadatam shreshto vachapeshair vimohayan. When saw he Braja's damsels had arrived, the Lord illustrious thereon contrived a speech fraught with eloquence and refined, which only served to agitate their mind. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Swagatam vo mahabhagaha priyam kim karavani vaha vrajasyanayam kachit bhuta gamana karanam. Welcome indeed, the illustrious one said, ye highly blessed ones. What can I do for you, far from your homes? The reason from your coming here, pray tell, are all concerns in Braja faring well? Rajanyesha Gora Rupa Gora Sattva Nisevita Pratiyata Vrajam Neha Steyam Stribhi Sumadyamaha. He goes on. This darksome night a fearful aspect wears. The forest teems with nocturnal creatures. Return to Braja, as stern duty claims. This is no place for dainty-waisted dames. Mataraha, pitaraha, putra, brataraha, patayascha vichinvanti hyapasyanto makridvam bandhu sadvasam. Your parents, children, brethren, husbands too, distressed will make a frantic search for you. It is not meet you cause them such chagrin. Hence to your homes you must return again. Drishtam vanam kushumitam rakesha kararanjitam yamuna nilajat taru pallavashobitam tadyatam matiram goshtam shushrushadhvam patim satihi Krandanti vatsa balascha tanpaya yata duhyata. You have indeed beheld with full delight the forest bathed in the balmy moonlight, Yamuna's sandy banks lined with tall trees whose leaves are set a-tremble by the breeze. Therefore, O chaste and pious ladies, hie to Braja where your little babies cry. To tend the newborn calves you must repair to Braja, and to serve your husbands there. अथ वा मद अभिस्नेहात् भवत्यो यन्त्रिताशयाः आगता ह्युपपन्नं वः प्रियन्ते मयि जन्तवः. Or did your love for me your steps impel? For verily all creatures love me well. You're venturing into the darksome night. Now scripture says, distinguishing the right. Bhartuhu shushrušanam strinam paro dharmo hyamayaya tat bandhunam cha kalyanaha prajanam chanuposhanam. The best course for a life of piety, for good wives, is to keep fidelity, to serve their husbands and his kith and kin, and selflessly take care of their children. Dushilo durbago vriddho jado rogyatamo piva pati stri bir nahatavyo lokepshu bir apataki. A husband, be he poor, foolish, unfit, unfortunate, unworthy, void of wit, a faithful wife should serve with firm intent, unless he be a brute or violent. Asvargyam ayasyasam cha falgu krichram bhayavaham jugupshitam cha sarvatra hyopapatyam kudastriyaha. For ladies of a noble pedigree, a lawless passion is most blameworthy, pernicious, misguided, and fraught with shame, a bar to heaven, bringing them ill fame. Shravanat, darshanat, dhyanan maya mayi bhavo no kirtanat, natatha sannikarshena pratiyata tato grihan. By hearing, seeing, thinking of my fame, absorbed in me by praising of my name, and by such means you may attain to me again. So you may to me attain, not by contact, therefore go home again. Shri Sukha Uvacha Iti Vipriyam Akarnya Gopyo Govinda Bhashitam Vishanna Bhagna Sankalpas Chintanapur Duratyayam. Sri Sukha said, thus Govinda his speech to them addressed, displeasing much, at which they were distressed. Their cherished hopes had proved to be in vain, and suffered they insufferable pain. Kritva mukan yavasucha shrashanena sushad bimbadarani charanena bhuva likantyaha ashreirupat mashiri kuchakunkumani tushturmrajantya urudukkhavaras matushni. With their bright countenances drooping low, they parched their berry lips with sighs of woe. When their longing was unrequited found, they with their toenails scratched the yielding ground. The tears which their hearts' overflow expressed washed off the saffron powder from their breast, and burdened by excess of misery, they bore the weight of sorrow silently. Preshtam priyetaram iva pratibhashamanam krishnam tadartha vinivartita sarvakamaha netre vimrijya ruditopahate sma kinchit samramba gadgadagiro bruvatanuraktaha. Although he was their beloved, most dear, Krishna had spoke as if he did not care, for whose dear sake they had abandoned all selfishness and renounced stern duty's call. With intermittent sobs and scorching sighs, they wiped away the tears that filled their eyes. With broken speech, by rising passion moved, in words like these his haughty speech reproved. And then so we'll continue next time in the next video with the Sri Gopil Chuhu. Hare Krishna.